Welcome to the TBB show. My name is Camille Fornela and I am the Budgetarian Bride. For our episode number 4, this is called It's Never Too Late to Be Optimistic. Okay, so sa mga nagdaan na panahon, sa simula pa lang ng lockdown, we're all devastated, we're all feeling a bit down and upset, and hindi ko kayo masisi because, diba, social media, every minute, iba-ibang news, lahat na yata ng negative news na pwede nating makita, nakita na natin sa social media. And feeling natin, dumating tayo sa time na baka hopeless na talagang lagi na lang negative news, wala na bang positive. But then, on my feed, there's this one person na kapag siya yung nakikita kong nagpo-post, it's always about something inspiring, uplifting, something positive. Never ko siyang nakitang nag-rant on whatever kind of issue. Okay? And ito ay walang iba kundi ang best-selling author ng libro na #BestMeEver, kundi si Coach Myke Celis. And we are going to have him here for our episode number 4. Sobrang excited na ako because I prepared a lot of questions para sa kanya. Lahat ng tanong din na nare-receive ko from fellow brides-to-be, itatanong natin sa kanya para makita natin yung perspective as a coach. Okay? Makita natin kung ano ba yung mga bagay na nami-miss out natin. And ang pinaka-importante, baka meron siyang sikreto bakit sa kabila ng lahat ng negativity ay nagagawa pa rin niyang maging positive. Okay, wag nating patagalin. Let's call in Coach Myke Celis. Welcome to the TBB show, Coach Myke. He's the author of The Best Me Ever on Positivity and Possibilities. Hi, Coach Myke.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi.
So our audience, our listeners are mga the budgetarian brides, those mga brides na nagpaplano within their budget. So would you like to greet them?
To the brides to be, I'm really excited for you. And kapit lang, eventually we'll make that dream wedding come true within the budget. So yeah.
Okay. So para magkaroon lang sila ng idea on why I chose you as our guest for today. Can you tell us a bit of a background? Bakit nyo po naisulat yung book nyo about the positivity since you're already a bestseller now?
Okay. Something about myself. Apart from being an author of 3 inspirational titles, I'm coming out with my 4th one, but it would be for international release na in Vietnam. Hopefully within the year, I'm really hoping. Yeah. I'm a certified ICF certified global master coach for life coaching, neurolinguistic programming, and timeline therapy. So professional coach po ako. And apart from the fact that I am a serial entrepreneur, I own 4 businesses apart from doing professional coaching. I own a coaching company, an advertising agency, a bakery, and a restaurant. So this is what I do. Apart from doing a lot of speaking engagements here and abroad, for coaching, among others. So, yun. I wrote #BestMeEver simply because it started from me wanting to recover from my own pains. It was actually a testament of my own recovery because way back then in 2015, I reached the lowest point in my life. So meaning I was in a physically abusive relationship. My friend betrayed me. Um, we were friends for 15 years and I lost a lot of money, which left me almost bankrupt. It didn't help that I came from a dysfunctional family and was bullied when I was younger. So imagine when it took its toll during that time, I was like, oh my God, I nearly wanted to kill myself. But for those of you in the same space right now, it was the turning point also because I realized when you reach the lowest point in your life, you have a choice to actually stay there and just, let go of your life or grow in the process as you choose to move on and forward. I chose to move on and forward. However, being the person who wanted to make it appear during the time that I was really strong. Instead of ranting on Facebook, I just posted all the lessons I learned every single day about my life. And I used the hashtag back then, hashtag best year ever, because during the time,
Mm.
my goal was to only make it through the year, as
Wow.
short as that. Because I was really feeling lonely during that time, and I was feeling really depressed, and I really wanted to kill myself. So my goal was just to make it through the year. But slowly, every single day, as I was posting, people started, reacting towards my posts, sharing them, and telling me that they actually feel the same way and that they, could relate to it. Before I knew it, my publisher asked me to write a book about it because he stalked me on Facebook and saw
Wow.
that I was getting a
Okay.
lot of
Mm.
engagement, and my quotes were being shared by people. But then again, it came the December 31st na. And when December 31st came, I'm like, so what would it be
Mm.
next year? Hashtag best year ever year two, diba? For me, it's kind of like, not really. Maybe it's not about the year. Maybe it's
Mhm.
not about what happened to me. Maybe it's not even about the people who have done me wrong. Maybe it was about myself. So that's why I switched to hashtag best me ever. And from that time on, I used that hashtag and created the compilations which have become certified bestsellers today. So as you can see, you can always choose to turn something that is negative to bring
Mhm.
out something positive in the long run only if you look beyond what is wrong as of the moment. So there.
Wow, that's very inspiring, Coach Mike. Do you think yung mga brides who went
Mm-hmm.
through like the eruption and this COVID-19, tingin mo ba kaya rin nilang magsulat ng ganyang best me ever na version nila?
I'm so sure about it. You know what? The thing with Taal and COVID-19, not to belittle what happened to them, but rather what happened was that your wedding just got moved,
Mhm.
right? It would still happen. If you guys are really meant for each other, it would happen when the time is perfect. But my experiences had a lot of pains attached to it. Now, which is more difficult? Uh, Delays or pains? Which is more difficult to embrace? What I'm asking you right now is to come from a perspective that it could have been a whole lot worse than you expected.
Mhm.
And that if you choose to just focus on what could be good about this, then you would realize that someday you would look at your wedding story and you would say to yourself and your husband that, you know what? It was a good thing it happened. You know what? It was meant to be that we were married on this day. But you have to look beyond what is quite obvious right now, meaning the delays you're experiencing. So there.
Yes. Thank you so much. I hope all our listeners they take notes kasi sobrang inspiring, and I
Mm-hmm.
know for sure those who feel so devastated right now, I think you've given them hope because of your very inspiring story that delays are better than pains. And
Mm-hmm.
Coach Mike, if there is um one liner na quote na pwede mong i-quote from your book na hashtag best me ever for this situation para sa mga brides, what is it?
I actually opened my book earlier for that, and I actually made the mark. I'll just find it. Okay, this one. Um. Oh, I'm just looking for it because I marked three. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, here. Perfect. Page 111, which happens to be my favorite number. 11 is my favorite number. So anything in 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1,
One.
I believe that the universe is telling me that I'm in sync with life. Rather than focusing on what could have been, focus on what could be. When you look forward to greater things, there's no stopping you from getting where you ought to be. Detach yourself from things and people that wouldn't matter in the long run. What I'm telling is that right now, when the situation is overwhelming, you tend to focus on all the things that went wrong, meaning the reservations, the environment,
Yeah.
relationships gone sour because of whatever stress you're experiencing, that you totally forget that you're holding on to something that has already happened in the past.
Mm.
You totally miss out on that wonderful opportunity to live in the now and ask yourself this: what can I still do here and now so that tomorrow would be better? Why am I in this current space? People tend to forget that the space they're in right now, the beautiful gap, the beautiful delay, is the space where they are that's leading them to where they ought to be in the future. What they make of that gap is actually based on their choices. So if that's the case, if it's based on their choices, what choices are they making right now? So ask your brides that.
Wow,
There
thank
you
you
go.
so much. That's a very important realization. I think not just for the brides, but for everyone's listening right now, ikakasal man or hindi. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious, Coach Mike, kasi you are very inspiring and you're always uplifting na parang hindi ka talaga naapektuhan ng kahit na anong negative news. Ano yung ginagawa mo or meron ka bang sikreto? How do you stay positive amidst the negative news, negative posts on social media, amidst everything na nangyayari online and sa paligid mo na we're on a lockdown?
Okay. I am always intentional. So meaning I choose what I consume. The biggest
Mhm.
realization I had ever since I became a coach was that everything is a matter of choice. Meaning you only get affected if you choose to focus on that, right? So when it comes to my social media feed, I mean, I cannot stop Facebook from, sharing all the rants of everyone around us, right?
Yes.
Uh, but I can always choose which ones to read. I can always choose what type of articles to search for. I can always choose what I would share on my wall. And that power of choice allows me to empower others also, to make them realize that there would always be two sides of the story, but it's up to you to choose which side you're going to focus on. It's the only secret there. Yeah.
Wow. So just be intentional. I'll take note of that
Uh-huh.
personally because
Uh-huh.
everything around is super negative. Parang
Uh-huh.
hindi natatapos yung negative news. Parang katatapos na isa, meron na naman. And yeah, sometimes we just tend to look at the negative side more often than dun sa mga positive ones. So I'll take note of that, Coach Mike.
Yes.
And then um again for this podcast, do you have like parang list of tips para sa mga brides na ikakasal? Again, marami ka nang nasabing inspirational things, but do you have like
Mhm.
5 specific tips para sa kanila, 5 or 7 tips na pwede nilang gawin, as in yung doable
Yeah.
na pwedeng simulan nila pagkagising nila bukas?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me share with you. I wrote this down earlier so that you guys may be able to appreciate it step by step. Okay. First things first. Breathe, honey. Breathe. Like, let it out. Calm down. Freaking out about the situation will not resolve anything. It would not stop COVID. It would not set you free from the lockdown. It would not allow you to get married. You
Mhm.
are wasting precious energy when you freak out. Allow yourself to breathe, to be one with the moment, and accept first your space. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when you're already calm, take a step back. Whether
Mhm.
literally or figuratively, do not immerse yourself in the situation. Meaning, remove yourself from the stressful situation and reflect. What is it teaching me? Why did it have to happen? Okay? You have to take this time to really absorb what is happening here and now is not exactly your happily ever after in the future. You have
Agree.
to realize, though, that you have to change your space so that you don't forget that. It's the perfect time for everyone, and not only those who are getting married, to actually take a step back and reflect,
Mm-hmm.
but for everyone undergoing extreme stress right now, simply because what they do, what majority of us do, is to actually, when faced with a problem, we face the problem head on without thinking. We just let
Yes.
our emotions flow. But that's not
Agree.
the way to go. Because we may say things and do things that we may regret in the future. So it's very important to take a step back and come from another space. What is it teaching me? Okay? Next, take responsibility. When I say take responsibility, if you already know that it's teaching you something, maybe about your relationship, if it's teaching you that very good relationships would take time, and that if you're really meant for
Mm.
each other, eventually it would find a way and it's worth the wait. When it comes to your finances, maybe you could reallocate your budget next time around. You always try to find a silver lining out there because there would always be one. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, after finding out that silver lining, after finding out that learning, what do you do about it? What are your steps by step plans that you can actually do to achieve those learnings and translate them into something that's very productive? Why am I saying this? When you just keep the learnings and don't do anything about it, they're just another piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
Pero if you do something about it, meaning you act on it, meaning you learned na parang, okay, ito pala yung tinuturo sa akin, mas maging patient ako sa relationship ko. Paano ko siya i-apply ngayon? Please take note, honey, hindi ka nawalan ng asawa, na-delay lang yung kasal mo. Am I
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
Now,
that's right.
in other cases naman, kung naghiwalay kayo ng dahil dyan, what is it teaching you? It's telling you na kung maghihiwalay kayo ng dahil sa isang unforeseen event at iiwan ka ng isang tao, ano ang value nung love na sinasabi nyo? Is it really about him or about you on how you would actually value yourself as you rise above that situation? What
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is, you can always choose to act based on a space of responsibility. So that is responding, not merely reacting. The
Mm-hmm.
difference is you don't let your emotions overwhelm you. Now, moving forward, as you find the silver lining, ask yourself this powerful question: what now?
Mm-hmm.
And then followed by what if? What I'm saying is, instead of coming from a space of fear, of anger, of regrets, of sadness, na common space ng mga brides natin ngayon dahil doon sa
Yes.
nangyari sa kanila, why not come from a space of hope, of possibility, of inspiration, that something better awaits? Notice how your entire physique, your mental wellness, your emotional well-being, your physical stature can change with that simple tweaking of your mindset. You have to realize that everything that you think about affects your body in general.
Mm-hmm.
And the least you want right now is to get infected. So you have to keep your immune system strong. And on that note, the best thing you can do is change your space. You cannot change the happenings around you. You cannot change whatever people may say. You cannot undo everything that has happened already, but you can always, always, always change the way you perceive things and the way you feel towards them. But more importantly, you can always change the way you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Never, for the brides out there and even the grooms, do not blame yourselves. Do not say na parang in the long run, but kasi ni-schedule pa natin ng ganito or dapat ganito na lang. Eh. No, 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 no. It's not that. Or kasalanan ko kasi ito yung pinilit ko, ito yung ganyan. No, nobody wants that. You don't
Yes.
go out pointing fingers right now. The more you point fingers, the more you find someone else to blame, or even yourself. If you start blaming yourself, the more complicated it gets in the long run. But please take note, it's not only you who would get affected. Diba? Buti sana kung ikaw lang, hindi. Everyone else around you. And you're
Yes.
not contributing to the much needed positive energy that we all need right now. Remember, honey, today, it's not just about your wedding. It's about survival. But in order to survive, 'di ba? Yun muna eh.
Yes. Madali na yung magpakasal later
'Di
on.
ba?
Pero
'Di
mas
ba?
okay
No,
pa
no,
yung
no, 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 no,
ngayon.
no, no. Tanggalin natin yung ano,
Yeah.
more than ever, it's time for us to think of the bigger picture. 'Di
Yes.
ba? Ang daming gusto magpakasal, mag-abroad. Ako ilang trips na na-cancel sa akin. Ilang talks ko, ilang engagements, guestings sa media ang natanggal. Even my regular program ngayon on hold sa radio simply because lifestyle host ako, ang mga news lang ang nandun. So nakapark ako lahat. But did I actually freak out about it? I did feel bad at first, but then I realized, what is it teaching me? It's teaching me to innovate. It's teaching me
Yeah.
that I could do other things, such as obliging to other interviews like this, doing other virtual efforts, and still become relevant. It's teaching me to grow with the flow. So maybe yun yung dapat na itanong natin sa sarili natin ngayon. After what is teaching you, how do you choose to grow from it, coming from a space of positivity, possibilities, and a whole lot of hope, diba? And lastly, ask yourself this. After listening to this podcast, what is that one thing that you can do here and now to change your life and get that dream wedding you've always wanted? Because we oftentimes overlook that. We feel na ngayon parang hopeless case na. And that's common. It's common because I know I may not have any brides right now as my coaches, but I have a lot of people messaging me who feel hopeless, who feel sad, who feel depressed, who feel powerless because of what's happening, and who have issues with their mental wellness. Now,
Yes.
brides, wag na tayong dumagdag doon. Simply because magkaiba nga ng space. Here are people actually suffering from mental wellness cases, 'di ba?
Yes.
And you have something, I know it's important, that is basically just mood. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is, let's have a wider perspective when it comes to that. Maybe you would tell me, Coach, paano yung gastos? Paano yung preparation?
Yeah.
Paano yung mga ganyan? What I'm saying is, okay, that's given, but is it the be all and end all of everything? What if you push through with the wedding? Who would have went? Would it have been happier if you still push through with it? Diba? So at the end of the day, try to look at it at this point. By the time na ikasal ka, mas excited lumabas sa mga tao, I'm sure mas marami kang bisita.
Agree.
Diba? Diba?
Ang sarap
Mas
kumain,
maraming
mag-party.
mag-celebrate. Exactly. And it would be something na worth sharing to all your guests. And you right now, as I speak to you guys, seated where you are or whatever you're doing as you listen to me, I know that you have a story to tell. I know that there is something inspiring within you because I can definitely see that. So allow yourself to be heard this time around, but come from that space. Come from a space of understanding, self-love, and a whole lot of compassion for all those who may not have the same problem as yours. Simply because your problem is not really a problem to begin with. It's just a matter of understanding that it's not yet the perfect timing. So there. Those are the
Grabe, Coach
tips.
Myke. Ngayon ko lang na-realize yun, no? Yung sinabi mo na after nito, yung mga tao excited lumabas. So, o nga, no? So, kasi isa sa
Diba?
mga common problem ng mga brides, yung mga eat and run after ng kainan, uuwi na. So,
Correct.
maybe this time around, they will stay a little bit
They would
longer,
say.
party, they will mingle with other
Uh-huh.
guests. So, I think it's a good thing to hope for na one day, tatapusin nila lahat yung kasal ko, pakikinggan nila lahat ng mag-speech, and they're very excited to share their stories.
Exactly. And it's not every day that you hear a bride that would talk
Yeah.
about the COVID in how many years time from now. Hanggang magkaanak ka na and all, you would still say the same story. But what's important is when you tell your story, what did you learn from it? And how did you grow from it? Yun lagi.
Okay, so
Yun.
that's very very inspiring, Coach Mike. So my next question is I posted kasi before sa page, and I urged ng yung mga brides to write the wedding vows and their love
Uh-huh.
letters. Kasi 'di ba kapag nag-shooting ng kanilang video, they will read a letter for their grooms, and
Uh-huh.
sabi ko, ang dami nating intense emotions ngayon. So, I want you to pour all those emotions into your love letters, into your wedding vows. So, ikaw, Coach Mike, as a best-selling author na, do you have any tips paano silang makakasulat ng magagandang wedding vows sa panahon ngayon na naka-quarantine sila, they have all the time, they have all the emotions out there?
Ah, okay. There I would beg to differ, honey, on that note,
Mm-hmm.
no? I always believe that you should write from the heart. And when you
Mm-hmm.
speak of love, it should come from a space of love and not of a space of obligation.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you write when you're ready. You don't write because you have the time. You
Yeah.
write when you're ready. You let your emotions flow. You speak your truth. If you are just forced just to make the most of the day by writing
Yeah.
that letter, it would come from obligation. It would come from
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. But what if you just take this time to know yourself more, to know your partner more? And as you get to know each other every single day, just try to write something about it. Revise, write, revise. I did not become a bestseller with just one draft. So, meaning on a personal note, I had to edit it several times until I felt that I got it. And it took time before I could finish even one book. Because
Oh.
I'm not the type that even if my publisher would give me deadlines, I could not follow. Because
Mhm.
I don't write when I don't feel like writing.
Yeah.
So you have to find that inspiration simply because you are going to say that vow to the most important person in your life soon. So it better come from the heart instead, not because you just have time to write it. So
Mhm.
that's the big difference that you can actually think about. When are
Okay.
you ready? There you
Okay.
go.
That's a very, very nice realization. Kasi, sa part naman ng mga newlyweds like me, ang isa sa mga nagiging worries ng mga bagong kasal, lagi sila magkasama ng asawa nila, and they tend to fight. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think, maganda yung tip mo, Coach Mike, that they use this time to get closer to each other, to get to know
Uh-huh.
better,
But
instead of
let me
fighting.
ask you this here. Why do you fight?
Actually, kami hindi. Kasi we're both
Mm.
work from home. So, actually, sanay kami sa
Huh?
ganitong setup. So,
Uh-huh.
I'm actually a freelance writer. So, medyo
Beautiful.
sanay ako sa ganitong setup. And, ang I think yung mga naninibago, yung mga galing sa
Yeah.
pagka-employee, tapos biglang
Uh-huh.
magkikita sila for the whole day.
Mm-hmm. And that is actually something that you should tell your brides as well.
Mm,
Na parang, it's not because you chose to be with someone for the rest of your life. It would come in easily if you live in together. 'Di ba? You would
yes.
see all the habits, you would see things that you may not like, you would get to know the person more, but it's really up to you to come from which space. Are you
Yeah.
still able to embrace it and how can you compromise? Because
Mm,
during this time, sabi ko nga sa mga interviews sa akin recently, the COVID lockdown brings out the best and the worst in you. Sa lahat sa
agree.
atin. But it's really a choice on how you want to deal with it every single day. But please take note, brides to be. When the time comes that you're married, you're no longer journeying alone. So it
Yeah.
couldn't be just about you. So what compromises could be done? I coach also couples, kaya medyo align
That's
ng mga
that's 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 very nice. So, yeah, for those na mga newlyweds na nagme-message sa akin, that's also an important message, yung compromise. Kasi sometimes you just have to forgive and just have to embrace. And darating yung time, ikaw naman kasi ifo-forgive niya sa magagawa mo. So, it's
exactly.
how long you can compromise. And ayun, and you have to come from that space of love para maintindihan mo siya.
Aha, true. And sabi ko nga, first year honeymoon stage, second
Mhm.
year semi-honeymoon stage, abang-abang tayo ng third year. Because dun, di ba? Dun
Yes.
magsisimula lahat niyan that you would become, if you don't continuously evolve together with your partner, meaning may partner na naiiwan, or
Yes.
nagkakaiba na kayo ng interest, or you're doing everything in a routinary, obligatory
Mm.
way, then it presents a problem altogether. So the thing is, how can you evolve with the times given that? Yan.
Actually, Coach Mike, since nabanggit mo that you are also coaching mga couples for their
Uh-huh.
relationship, actually, isa sa pinakamadalas ko ma-receive na question is about communicating. They find it very scary to communicate their actual feelings to their partner kasi they feel na magagalit or mag-aaway and that they tend to just fight kapag nagko-communicate sila ng feelings nila. And ako, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, correct me if I'm wrong as a coach for relationships ka, ang sinasuggest ko sa kanila is, bago ka magpakasal, that's the best time to practice your communication. Kasi kapag kasal na kayo, you're going to decide a lot and mas malalaking bagay like bahay, baby, ipon, and all. So, mas malaki yon. Kung itong kasal pa lang hindi nyo mapag-usapan ng maayos, what more in the future? So, ikaw ba, Coach Mike, do you have any
Uh,
tips about
this
communication?
this valid. Actually, ang main point niyan is that it's not about the two of them, whoever's
Mm.
getting married. It's about yourself and the value you put on yourself. Bakit mo isusuppress ang sarili mo? Bakit hindi ka kikibo? Ang tanong
Mhm.
ko lang naman dyan is, what is the kind of love that you deserve? How do you want to be loved? If that's not the one you're getting, then why aren't you telling him? Diba? Would you get
Yes.
the love that you deserve if he doesn't know that he's not giving it to you? Because you would find out eventually in the long run, hindi compatible ang love languages nyo.
Yeah.
I've had couples coming to me, married 13 years, they don't even know each other's love language, for goodness sake.
Mhm.
Ako pa yung nagtanong. On separate, when I coach couples pala, merong madalas separate sessions and then pag ready na
Hmm,
sila, doon
magkasama na.
magkasama na. Oo, pag may mga marital problems, pagka ganun, pag strengthening ang kailangan.
Since
So,
newlywed ako, Coach Mike, mga ilang years ba yung mga nagpapa-counsel na?
oh my God, may meron ako, a young
May
couple, I
pattern
have
ba?
mga late 20s. This is the youngest na couple that I have na nagpapa-coach. My
Mhm.
my pinaka-oldest are around 45, 50, 55-ish. Nandun
Oh.
na. So matagal na talaga.
Mhm.
Pero doon kasi mo makikita lahat na eh. Alam mo yun, if you've grown
Mhm.
too familiar with your spouse, ang sabi ko nga is that the tip there is find something to fall in love with your spouse every single day, something new, and list
Mhm.
it down. Kasi in case you
Yeah.
forget, basahin mo yung list mo. It would tell you something that might spark, you know, a realization in the long run. Try mo yan. It might help.
Okay.
Yan.
I will. I will. So for our marriage to flourish, kailangan we are very open-minded to try all the things na pwedeng makatulong sa atin. That's very,
Mm-hmm.
very
And
inspiring.
don't live with don't live with so much assumption na parang ina-assume mo
Yes.
baka magalit siya, baka masaktan siya,
Mhm.
baka ganyan ganyan. Ang to, famous ako sa pagtanong ng ganyan. Ang lagi kong tanong, well, whether marital mga relationship coaching or personal coaching, ang tanong ko lagi, what you're telling me, is it based on fact or assumptions? Kasi kung fact, i-deal natin. Kung assumption
Mhm.
lang, tanggalin natin yan. Di ba?
Yes.
It's as simple as that. Again, self-value kasi yan. In every relationship, including those of, whether you intend to get married or if it's a working relationship or whatever else, it all boils down on the value you put on yourself. It doesn't mean that if you're married, you would lose yourself in the process by surrendering to whoever is the more
Mhm.
dominant partner. It's more reason for you to uphold your own because that's the only way that you could grow individually and grow with your partner. Yun.
Grabe. Grabe yung wisdom na nakukuha ko sa'yo, Coach Mike. I mean, just talking to you, sobrang inspiring and empowering at the same time. So, I'm sure lahat ng mga brides and even yung mga hindi brides na nakikinig sa atin, they are enjoying this podcast and this episode a lot. So, if ever they want to have their own communication with you, they want to contact you, is there a way that they can follow your tips and your marriage
Yes,
counseling
sir.
programs?
Um, well, my Facebook page, as in yung personal page ko, everyday meron yung may reflection yan every single day. Sure ako doon. But I have my public page is Best Me Ever by Life Coach Myke Celis on Facebook. On Instagram, it's my_Best Me Ever. On YouTube is #BestMeEverTV. Website is www.bestmeever.com. Now, if you want to talk to me personally, because I give free chemistry sessions, so meaning parang get a feel din muna, kasi I get a lot of inquiries na mga ganyan-ganyan. You can book your schedule. It's in calendly.com, coach.myke.celis. The link is in my website and in my Facebook page. So there you go.
Okay. So, ayan, mga brides, if you really want to follow, if you want to stay inspired even after this COVID-19 and gusto nyo talagang ma-empower by Coach Myke Celis, you can follow him in all the accounts na minention niya. And before we end this very, very inspiring episode, do you have any message or words of encouragement for the brides? This is for the brides in general, not just for COVID-19, but because the wedding planning alone is very stressful. Like, sabi mo nga kanina, they deal with financial stress, they deal with
Uh-huh.
unsolicited opinions. Do you have any tips for them para malagpasan nila yung ganong stress?
Best thing I've learned in life so far and that I apply every single day is that you do you. Whatever
Mm.
it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that makes you happy, complete, and fulfilled, go for it. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. But apart from that, realize also that whatever space you're in right now, meaning at whatever state you are, whatever situation ang nakapaligid sa'yo, know that it's okay. Know that it's okay simply because you're also on your way to becoming your own #BestMeEver. Embrace your journey. That's the most important thing to do.
Wow, thank you
There.
so much, Coach Mike. This is
Thank you
really
too.
a very good resource for all the brides out there, and I think yung oras na nabigay mo sa kanila kasi last time I interviewed yung mga brides na March, April,
Uh-huh.
May, and June brides. So nagbigay din sila ng words of encouragement. But I think yung sa'yo, it's quite special kasi it's coming yung parang you're just thinking sa sa bigger picture. Alam mo yun,
Uh-huh.
parang you're giving us an advice outside dun sa nakikita lang namin. So that's very,
Exactly.
very important.
That
So,
is the value of having a coach also,
mm,
because we all have blind spots. And
yeah.
things like this, ito mga nangyayari sa buhay natin, when things don't go as planned, na-activate yung blind spots natin. Actually, we become blinded by them. So, the role of a coach is to point out all of those and to make you realize that if you choose, you can have clarity that is much needed in order for you to thrive, not just survive in whatever situation you're in. So, yeah.
Yes, that I agree. So, again, maraming salamat and I hope you keep safe and again, papanoorin ko mamaya yung live mo na Lava Lockdown.
Yes, we're
So,
talking about mental wellness later on. I'll be with
mm,
DJ Angelina of 91.5. She was my coachee back then.
oh,
Mag-co-host kami sa Radio Inquirer. Co-host
wow.
ko siya.
Mhm.
So, she's diagnosed with mental depression.
Oh,
And yes, I was the one who coached her to become the person that she is right now. So, nung nagkita kami,
wow.
she was, yes. So, isa siya sa mga success stories ko. And today, more than ever, kasi she's still coping eh. So, it's
Mm,
very timely and relevant for the brides out there to actually
yes.
watch it as well. Simply because you get to see how a person with mental wellness issues can actually cope.
Wow, that's
There.
very nice. So, right after
Yeah.
this, I have to upload this para ma-remind sila
Yeah.
of your schedule. So, thank you
So
so much
please do
again.
tag me if you have
Yes.
anything for promoting also, so I can share.
Okay. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
So, I'll send you
Thank
the
you so
link
much.
of our conversation. I hope you enjoyed our
Yeah, I
podcast
did. I did. I did.
episode.
Yes, yes, yes. I did. I did. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye, coach.
Bye bye. Okay.